Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video of mine. So today I just want to share the book summary of a very thought-provoking and inspirational text written by none other than James Clear, and the book is Atomic Habits. I think you can read only in an inverted manner, but never mind. So this is the book. It's a quite big book. I read this book I think, 1 year back maybe, but I prepared some notes, short notes about this book because I just wanted to follow the things that had been written in this book. So I just made some notes for this book. So in this video, I just want to share the short notes I have written down in this little diary. So let us get into the video. So, Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. Changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you are willing to stick with them for years. So let me take an example. If you are if you are like really into gardening and taking care of the plants, if you water the plant one day may not result in a very huge huge uh, huge result, but if you water the plant every day, it might take only 5 minutes or something like that, for a single plant. And if you are going to water that plant on a daily basis, after a few months the plant will grow into something very big, right? So in that way we have to nurture our little habits so that it can transform into something big. So that is what James Clear wanted to say. So we know that atoms, right? Atoms are very small particles. So if the atoms come together, they will become molecules, and the molecules will become the substances we are seeing in this earth. Like molecules will become compounds, and the compounds will result into a concrete subject, a concrete thing or substance we have been seeing in this earth. So like that, little habits eventually will step further and will transform into something very big. So according to James Clear, to write a great book you must first become the book. So if you want to write a book, then become the book. There is no other way, right? You just have to uh, get into that process of becoming something you wanted to achieve. So that is it. Success is the product of daily habits, not once in a lifetime transformation. If you want to, success is not an overnight thing to happen, right? So success is a very slow process, and it requires our effort too. So James Clear is saying how our little habits can lead us to the success we all crave for. So these are some motivational quotes. Like another quote that I loved is, good habits make your time ally. Ally means friend. Bad habits make your time enemy. So if you spend time on doom scrolling or things like that, then it will make a negative impact in your life. If you channel your time for something productive or something like studying or doing your work, then it will blossom into something really nice. So that's about the introduction. So there are a lot of motivational quotes James Clear is putting in this book, right? So I just don't want to go into all of those quotes, but I prefer you to read this book so that you can note down such quotes, okay? So James Clear is using a lot of anecdotes, like a lot of real life things, in order to make readers understand and relate to his perspective. So let me read one thing. Imagine you have a messy room and you set a goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, then you will have a clean room for now. But if you maintain the same sloppy pack rat habits that led to a messy room in the first place, soon you will be looking at a new pile of clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation. You are left chasing the same results because you never changed the system behind it. So you treated a symptom without addressing the cause. So that's so beautiful, right? So if you the cause, you need to look into the root problem. If you just only have a surface level understanding, that is not going to help you in the long run. So if you have a messy room, change your habit of making the room messy, not the cleaning up process that we have to follow on a weekly basis or something like that. So you have to change your habit of making the room messy to the habit of making your room beautiful. So that is a habit, a small habit, but with a larger impact. So fix the input and the output will fix themselves. So what a great observation James Clear is making, right? So fix the inputs and the outputs will fix themselves. So when you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. So fall in love with the process, not the result. Okay? If you like to study, doesn't concern yourself with the marks or scores. Just enjoy the process of studying, and the result will follow you later. So atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. Changing our habits is challenging for two reasons. So, what are those reasons? Let us dive deep into it. We try to change the wrong thing. Reason number one, changing our habits is challenging, and the reason for it is number one is that we try to change the wrong thing. Next, we try to change our habits in the wrong way. So, wrong thing and wrong way. These are the reasons. So, these are the reasons. So, outcomes are about what you get. Processes are about what you do. Identity is about what you believe. Another thought provoking quote from James Clear. So there are two kinds of habits, which are outcome based habits and identity based habits. So the goal is not to read the book, just keep your attention to that sentence. The goal is to become the reader. The goal is not to run a marathon, the goal is to become a runner. The goal is not about learning an instrument. The goal is to become a musician. So you should focus on to the end, the ultimate result, not result, ultimate aim, your ultimate aim. So progress requires unlearning. So let me emphasize the word unlearning. So we, from our childhood onwards, we all learn a lot of things. But after being an adult, in spite of learning new things, we have to unlearn some older things too. So that is one major requirement for progress. So, the science of how habits work. The process of building a habit can be divided into four. Here comes the crux of this book. So, the process of building a habit can be divided into four. There are four steps in the process of building a habit. First is cue. What is cue? By cue, it is meant that Cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. It is a bit of information that predicts a reward. Cravings. So, motivational force, the second one is cravings. First one is cue, and the second one is cravings. Cravings. Motivational force behind every habit. Every craving is linked to a desire to change your internal state. And let me go to the third step. Third step is the response. The response is the actual habit you perform, which can take the form of a thought or an action. And the fourth step is that response delivers a reward. Reward is the fourth step. We chase reward because they serve two purposes. What are those two purposes? They satisfy us and they teach us. So the four steps in the process of building a habit are cue, cravings, response, and reward. So that's it. Without all four factors, a behavior will not be repeated. So this is like a cycle. Without these four factors, a behavior or a habit will not be repeated. So this is like the it's inverted, right? So you can't see it. So let me just even if just look at this round structure. So can you see it? Let me just yeah, look at this round such structure. So this is like a cycle. Cue, craving, response, and reward. So this is like a cyclical process. That's it. So the four stages of habit are described as feedback loop. So the four stages of habit, the four stages we have seen here is described as feedback loop. Okay, so there is two phases, which is that problem phase and solution phase. The problem phase constitute the first two factors in the process of a habit, which are cue and craving. And the solution phase have two other two factors, which are response and reward. Reward. So these are problem phase consists of cue, craving, and the solution phase consists of response and reward. So, problem phase is when you realize that something needs to change. Something definitely have to change. Like you're like thinking, okay, this is not how I should go. I have to change something. I really have to change something. So that is it. Problem phase is when you realize that something needs to change. So if you like if you are a snacking kind of person, you you just really want to give up your junk food consumption for your health, your healthy life. So that is the problem phase, which constitute cue and craving. You have this craving for abandon your bad habit of bad eating habit. And the solution phase, it consists of response and reward. Solution phase is when you take action and achieve the change you desire. So that is it. So the first law, there are four laws in in building a good habit, which we already discussed, which are cue. First law is cue, second law is craving, third law is response, and fourth law is reward. So how to create a good habit? Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. So for example, you want to drink water on a daily basis, plenty of water on a daily basis. If you are living in a two-storied house, your kitchen might be downstairs, so um, you have to use the stairs to get down and take the water. So it might seem a bit difficult to do on a daily basis, so you have to like put a box, sorry, not box, put a bottle near your study table or your room, in your room, so that you can take it whenever you want. So that is it, make it obvious, like the water bottle is here, it is obvious, you don't have need any effort to identify the water, it is obvious, water bottle, it is here. And make it attractive, so you don't have to use the stairs and go downstairs to bring the water. So it is beyond your reach, no, it is closer to your reach, it is near you, the water bottle is near you. So that is the thing which is mostly attractive about the habit of drinking water. So make it easy, so the bottle is near you, so you don't have to use you don't have to go into the kitchen, so it is easy. Make it satisfying, after drinking the water you will feel a satisfaction. So that is it. So these are the 4 steps to create a good habit: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So, how to break a bad habit? It is very important, as important as making a good habit. So, breaking a bad habit is as important as making a good habit. So, in order to break a bad habit, you have 4 inversion laws, which are inversion of first law, which is cue, inversion of second law, which is craving, inversion of third law, which is response, and inversion of fourth law, which is reward. So we already see, I had seen that how to create a good habit, which is that make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So how to break a bad habit? Just opposite of these 4 things, which is that make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. Think about like you consume alcohol, and you really need to escape from the cycle of alcoholism. So make it invisible, like you if you are going in a route of you are going in a route where an alcohol shop is there nearby, you can take another route, so that alcohol shop is invisible to you. So make it invisible, so make it unattractive. By unattractive, if you have to think about the grave effects of alcoholism, and those grave effects, thinking about those grave effects would be actually unattractive about your habit. And make it difficult, so you just have to make the means to achieve your bad habit very difficult. If in the case of alcoholism, you have to like resist yourself using money to buy alcohol, so make it difficult, make it unsatisfying, think about the consequence, then the bad habit will automatically become unsatisfying. So that is how to break a bad habit. So there is this amazing quote by the a very famous thinker, Carl Jung. He just contributed many things in psychology too. So until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you call it fate. What a powerful quote, man! What a powerful quote. So that's it. So that's about how to make and break habits. So next, coming to the next part, which is that the other tips for making a good habit, which is that make a habit card, like Christmas cards. You can make a habit card. So habit card is a point and call system for our personal lives. So make a list in your habit card. Make a list of your daily habits, like good habit, bad habit, and neutral behavior. You have to include all these things in your habit card, which are good habit, bad habit, and neutral behavior. So habits that reinforce your desired identity are good, and habits that conflict with your desired identity are bad. So that's it. So the two most common cues are time and location. Implementation intentions leverage both of these cues. So we tell ourselves that I'm going to eat healthier or I'm going to write more, but you never say when and where. You have to like, you think like suddenly you have this thought that, oh, I have to write a novel, or oh, I have to write a story, or oh, I have to crack this competitive exam. That's your cue. But you don't know when and where. It is a sudden, overwhelming feeling. So these habits are going to happen. We leave it up to chance and hope that we will just remember to do it, and we are just giving that to fate. Okay, the fate or the god, he can decide when I will succeed in this, but I have this really strong feeling of doing something. I really want to achieve something, but you're not doing anything. So you have the cue, but you're not following the feeling of that sudden desire. So, an implementation intention sweeps away foggy notions like I want to work out more, or I want to be more productive, or I should vote and transform them into a concrete or I should vote and transform them into a concrete plan of action. So you have to decide when you have to do this good habit, a good thing, or your aim, when you have to do your goal, do your work, or where you have to do your work. So decide by deciding that there is this fogginess of I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, that will disappear, and you will be more directed towards your goal. Like setting when and where will always lead you in right direction. So that's it. For example, let me cite an example. Meditate. If in case of meditation you have to plan like I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. So you have to fix the time and place. In case of studying, I will study Spanish for 20 minutes at 6 p.m. in my bedroom. So these are the how you should implement a really good habit. So that's it. That's so we talked about making a habit card, and we talked about fixing your place and time to do your habit. So that's it. Next is habit stacking, which is another important term. Stacking, you know, right? What is stacking? Stacking is like placing books or something one over the other. This book is over this and this book is over this. So this is like stacking, right? So we have to, in this way we have to stack our habits too. So one of the best ways to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top. This is called habit stacking. What a beautiful concept. People, you people, it's a very effective thing to do. So if you this consider this as your old habit, so on top of your old habit you have to place a new habit. So this is your old habit, this is your new habit. So like that you have to stack your old and new habits. So like the habit stacking formula, there is a particular formula for habit stacking. After current habit, I will new habit. Let me make it more clear. In case of meditation, after I pour my cup of coffee each morning, I will immediately meditate for 1 minute. So, which is the old habit? Drinking coffee or pouring coffee into the coffee cup is the old habit, and meditating is the new habit. So, after doing the old habit, or after making coffee, you can meditate. So making coffee is the old habit and meditation is the new habit. So you are like Making coffee, this is old habit, making coffee, and this is new habit, which is that meditate. So this is only the case of meditation. We can, and there are several other choices of your own goals. So this is the figure for habit stacking. You see that habit one, habit two, habit three, habit four, like that. So yeah. So there are and James Clear then may then dive deep into the uh, four laws of making a good habit, which are: make it obvious, make it what are those? Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. So he's describing all these things. He's describing these four stages, which is: the first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. Strategies like implementation, intentions, and habit stacking are among the most practical ways to create obvious cues for your habits and design a clear plan for when and where to take action. So that's it. Make it obvious is the first law, and how to do that we already discussed, like habit stacking, implementation, intentions like when, where, etc. So that is how you should make a cue obvious. Then so there are a lot of other good quotes too. I'm not going the deep into that. So for example, how to make it obvious, that is how let me describe it through an example. If you want to drink more water, fill up a few water bottles each morning and place them in common locations around the house, as I said earlier, the example of water bottle. So so if you want to make a habit a big part of your life, make the cue a big part of your environment. So that's it. So that's it. Avoid mixing the context of one habit with another. Like you're reading something, then you're writing something. Don't mix it together. Just do one thing, then do next. That's it. Don't mix the habits between each other. So if your space is limited, divide your room into activity zones, like a chair for reading, a desk for writing, a table for eating, like that. So it will be more organized. Gradually, your habits become associated not with a single trigger, but with the entire context surrounding the behavior. So, like if you arrange your like if you arrange your chair, or if you arrange your your table, or you arrange your bed or something like that, if you arrange them in places, then you can follow a good habit. Like if you fix some specific places for specific habits or specific things to do, then you can make the cue obvious, or make it obvious, make your habit obvious. So next is self control. You have to have a very good self control to avoid the bad habits. So addictions could spontaneously dissolve if there was a radical change in the environment. So, how can we tackle addiction with the help of environment? Let me give an example, as James Clear is saying. In case of a typical drug user, when he goes to a clinic, gets clean, which is devoid of all environmental stimuli that prompt the habit, then returns to their old neighborhood with all of their previous cues, like cues. We already know what cues is, like triggering things that caused them to get addicted in the first place, and continues his drug use. So you have to change your environment. Disciplined people spend less time in tempting situations. The people with the best self control are typical people who need to use it least. So, people with what a good quote, man. People with good self control will use they have only a very few occasion to use it because they are already disciplined, so they don't need to control themselves because they are automatically doing that. So that's it. But bad habits are catalytic. The process feeds itself, right? It is a bad habit is like a catalyst. If you if you consume chocolate very much, and the dopamine surge you get from that is a catalyst. So in order to get that, or that dopamine surge will catalyze you to get more chocolate. So that is it. They foster the feelings they try to numb, called as cue induced wanting. So you can break a bad habit, but you're unlikely to forget it. One of the most practical ways to eliminate a bad habit is to reduce exposure to the cue that causes it. So, in order to eliminate a bad habit, you have to reduce the exposure to the cue, or to the trigger that is causing the bad habit. For example, if you can't seem to get any work done, leave your phone in another room for a few hours, because phone is the problem. Rather than making a bad habit obvious, you can make it invisible, as we already mentioned. Okay, so that's it. This is about first law, which is make it obvious. What about second law? Have you remember it? Do you remember it? The second law is make it attractive. So the more attractive an opportunity is, the more likely it is to become habit forming. Habits are a dopamine driven feedback loop. It is the anticipation of a reward, not the fulfillment of it, that gets us to take action. So it is the anticipation. So let me take an example. If you win a prize, when will you anticipate it? Before the moment you win a competition, that is your peak level of anticipation. After getting that prize, your anticipation will dissolve because it has already you already got it. So there is no need for anticipation. So it is the anticipation of a reward, not the fulfillment of it, that gets us to take action. So that's it. So, in case of junk food work in this way. So, junk food, for example, drives our reward systems into a frenzy. That's it. So, that's it. For example, let me describe it more. How junk food take over the control of our mind. When you don't know where your next meal is coming from, eating as much as possible is an excellent strategy for survival. Today, however, we live in a calorie rich environment. Food is abundant, but your brain continues to crave it like it is scarce, like it is less. The modern food industry relies on stretching our Paleolithic instincts, that is, our primitive instincts, beyond primitive nature, beyond their evolutionary purpose. So they are inducing this primitive stimuli into us, these big food industries are. So the modern food industry and the overreaching habits it has spawned is just one example of the second law of behavior. Change, make it attractive. The more an opportunity is, the more likely it is to become habit forming. How much time is it? It's like 33 minutes. Okay, I think this is a lot. I think I will stop here. We discussed like make the first law, which is make it obvious, and we also discussed some aspects of the second law, which is make it attractive. So I will discuss the following next topics in the next part of this video. So that's it. Thank you. To be continued. Do wait for the next video. I will upload it in the coming days. So that's it. Thank you for hearing me out. So that's it. And also a huge shout out to my friend Shweta. She just really wanted to um, uh, know wanted this video about atomic habits. So yeah, Shweta, I hope you like it. So that's it. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video.